One day, the legend will be born. All of civilization depends on it.
The future. I can see it.
I know you read the book as a young boy, as a young teenager. Why did it resonate with you then? And how did it resonate with you now when you adapted it for the big screen?
The novel, Frank Herbert novel, Dune, is a masterpiece. And the mark of a masterpiece is something that you can discover different qualities or thing or new topics according how when you read it in your life development. You know, it's like the several things. Of course, as a boy, when I read it as a 13 or 14 years old, I was more touched by Paul's Atreides journey, by his curiosity toward another culture, by the way he projected himself into that culture, by the way he finally made peace with a part of his identity, being in contact with another culture. That for me, it was amazing, I guess. And later on, I was more impressed maybe by the Bene Gesserit sisters, that were that kind of a new take on feminism, of seeing this congregation of very powerful female figures that are manipulating the world destiny in the shadow, and the way they deal with time, and the way they deal with the inner voice, their ancestors' voice, the way they make peace with those voices and being able to channel them in order to become more powerful and to catch the wisdom from the past. There's something that was, all those were very powerful ideas, but Dune is very rich and complex. There's many topics it explore, and it's a book that I had a great pleasure to revisit through the years.
So Denis, then how do you react when you get to do your dream project, something that's been part of your life, you know, for so many years, and they say to you, yes, you're going to get to make this movie? How do you even react to something like that?
I think I reacted I take science fiction very seriously, so I took that like a big responsibility. I knew that it's a book that has been beloved through since decades, and I wanted to make sure that the hardcore fan of the book will find elements in the book, ideas, the poetry, the atmosphere, make sure that they feel that there was something true to the adaptation, that they will not feel that I betrayed the book. So that was the big goal. In the same time, I wanted to make sure that people that know nothing about the book will totally understand the story. So So my first thought was that responsibility to make sure that I will be able to bring this adaptation to the screen in the best way.
Denis, why was Timothée the perfect person to play Paul Atreides?
Timothée Chalamet is, first of all, one of the best actors of his generation. He's also has tremendous charisma. He has like a rock star charisma that is necessary for the character that will become later a messianic figure. So I really needed that charisma. And Timothée is an old soul. He has for his young age, has a lot of wisdom, is a very clever, very thoughtful young man that looks very young on camera. So that contrast between that old soul and that appearance on camera, but that youth is exactly what Paul Atreides is. I didn't see anybody else but Timothée to play that part.
How was the challenge different adapting Dune than it was directing Blade Runner 2049? The original Blade Runner also was very personal and influential to you as well.
But the thing is that it's pretty different, because when I did the Blade Runner 2049, I was like walking into the footstep of a giant, which is Ridley Scott. And I was there to try to honor his legacy, meaning his visions. I was trying there to respect the world he had created. On Dune, doing Dune, I was working with a blank canvas. I mean, I was like, I had to start from scratch, and the person I needed to please was myself, and that was a total different challenge.
Did you see the potential for this It's so rich in its world building. Did you see the potential for this to be like a Star Wars to a whole new generation of moviegoers?
Listen, frankly, I know that the novel is beloved. I know that it's a very rich world. I know that it has the potential to I hope to bring beautiful dreams to the world. But I will. It's not. I cannot predict the future, and I cannot. I think it would be arrogant of me to think that it could become something as big as Star Wars, and I cannot think about that. But I will say that I put all my passion and my effort into this movie because it's just an universe that I deeply love.
Of course, people are going to get to the end, and they're going to be thirsting, hungering for the second part. What is your visions for that? What are your dreams for part two? Have you started to put pen to paper? Do you have ideas already on how that will all pan out?
I had the idea about part two as I was doing part one, of course, because when you split a movie in half, in order to do the first part, you need to know what you're going to do in the second one. So it's like I know what to do now. I will know if I will be able to do it later if the movie brings enough rise enough enthusiasm in the audience. We'll see what happens. Hopefully, I have high hopes. But
thinking about my experience watching your movies here at the Toronto Film Festival over the years, Prisoners is a movie I saw with my mom. We loved it. I couldn't imagine not seeing that movie in a theater. Likewise, Sicario, Arrival, and this as well. Why does the big screen experience matter to you?
Because it's part of the language. It's part of the cinematic language. It's part of the way you receive a movie. There's a commitment. When you are in a theater, you're not distracted by anything else. You're just committed to you're engaged with the movie. You cannot stop the movie. You cannot you can walk out if you want, but still there's something about being in the relationship with the object of the film is very different than when you are watching a movie on television. And there's something about the immersive quality of the theater that is unmatchable. You cannot reproduce that at home. Of course, there's beautiful sound system, the new system at home, but they will never match what is the theatrical experience because of obviously of the size of the screen, and also because of the quality of the sound system that you can find in a theater that create an insane immersive feeling that is unmatchable. So for all this is something that I feel that if people want to receive the full impact of Dune, they should watch it on the big screen.
What was the most challenging scene to film in this movie? Because I think there's going to be lots of moments where people will be on the edge of their seats.
I will say that what's particular for me about the Dune shooting is that there's no such thing as a most difficult scene. Every day was challenging. It was like the thing is that it was a marathon of difficulties, technical difficulties, or something was about the mise en scène, or there was something difficult that I had to bring to the surface with the actors. There was always something difficult to do on a daily basis. That was so singular. It was not a more easy movie to make, and by far the most challenging things I've done in my life.